Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Office Bloke Aidan.
We're Office Bloke Daz Sports Edition. Sports is for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yep. Do
us a favour. Get us big, get us huge. More sports.
Yeah.
Do more sports. We've got loads of stuff coming up now. We're going to boost the channel a little bit, aren't we? Trying to get as much content as we can out there. Loads of sports stuff. Get everyone joined in.
Yeah.
Covering all different types of sports. We know March Madness is coming up. We've got the NHL in full swing. Baseball's just starting spring training.
Yeah.
Loads of different sports. I mean, over here we've got NFL. We've got the Champions League, we've got Premier League, FA Cup, all in full swing. Rugby Six Nations. There's loads of stuff going on. The horse racing season starting. There's loads going on. Yeah, for me anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Sports,
right?
not just can't get enough. Yeah. Ranking every NFL city based on how big of a football city they really are. Where would you think number one would be?
I'm thinking maybe like the Philadelphia or Buffalo type places like that.
Yeah, Philly's definitely a football city, I would say. I mean, I know they've got the Flyers as well. I mean, some of these cities you're going to get that have got bigger, like NHL or baseball teams than what they have football teams.
Yeah.
So they might not be a football city as such. They might be a hockey city.
Yeah.
Or a baseball city. But I'm thinking definitely Philadelphia for me.
Maybe like Green Bay because they've got nothing else there.
Correct. Yeah, that's a good shout. Green Bay, Dallas.
Dallas, yeah.
You know, America's team, the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Let's get into it anyway. Ranking every NFL city based on how big of a football city they really are.
What city in America is the biggest football city?
Buffalo last 20 years has mostly been pathetic. And the weather's the worst in the league.
Best
and
fans,
they
though.
still show up in mass.
We've done this channel for a while. Good channel, we've on it.
Fans in certain areas live and die by what their hometown NFL team accomplishes on the gridiron. However, that's not the case across the country. So where does your city stand? Well, here are our rankings for every NFL city based on how big of a football city they really are.
Do you think we're a football city?
What, Manchester?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we're probably
The biggest football city in the country.
probably the biggest, yeah.
Definitely.
It's definitely one or two. Liverpool's a big football city as well.
Yeah, it's all Northwest is just like all about football and music.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, but I'd say Manchester would definitely be on the list of...
The Manchester's number one. When you go to like if someone says where you're from and I say Manchester, it's like City or United.
Yeah. And what do you always say?
City with like a bit of a, or it's like there's only one team in Manchester, mate. And
I always just say, someone says to me, "Oh, you're from Manchester? It's red or blue?" And I go, "I'm from Manchester." And they go, "Ah, City then."
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have an Irish accent, you could be
or a Cockney accent.
Yeah, Cockney accent, you could be United. Yeah.
Yar. Number 30, Jacksonville. Quite frankly, Jacksonville's a pretty random place to have an NFL franchise. Jacksonville is a small market to begin with, but the franchise's lack of success over the past decade and a half hasn't really helped matters. Attendance is consistently near the very bottom, and it's quite common to see more away team supporters than Jags fans at TIAA Bank Field. Number 29, Las Vegas. Alright, let's be real. Sports will never be the main attraction in Vegas. Casinos, entertainment, day clubs, nightlife, those are all the main draws in Vegas. The Raiders haven't struggled to attract fans in SimCity, but it's going to take some time for football fever to really take off there. Number 28, Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers were consistently near the very bottom in annual attendance before Tom Brady arrived. And
What? Do you know what the Arena Bowl is?
Arena Bowl.
City of Champions, Super Bowl, Stanley Cup, and the Arena Bowl.
Is that college maybe?
Could be.
Arena Bowl.
Sounds like a college game, doesn't it?
They have college bowls, don't they?
Yeah.
They have like Rose Bowl, Orange Bowl, stuff like that. So I imagine Arena Bowl must be something to do with that.
Probably, yeah.
Buccaneers were consistently near the very bottom in annual attendance before Tom Brady arrived. And given the success of the NHL's Lightning over the past decade, it feels like the Bolts are a bigger deal in Tampa than the Bucks. Once Tom Brady retires, citywide interest in the Bucks will likely drop just as fast as it took off. Number 27, Miami. Like the Jaguars and Bucks, the Dolphins constantly rank in the bottom third in NFL attendance. The NBA's Heat are by far the bigger deal in South Beach. All those
Miami
deep
Heat are
playoff
definitely
runs and
bigger though, aren't
championship
they?
titles will do that to you. The Fins have been a dysfunctional and irrelevant mess during Stephen Ross's ownership tenure, so it is no wonder that the city isn't...
Probably got Messi as well. The Messi factor going into that now as well. The fans
I
wanting
think
to
this
go
is
see.
before that though, isn't it?
Yeah, possibly.
Because you were talking about Tom Brady still playing.
Yeah, but I thought, no, they said when Tom Brady retired, interest dipped.
I thought you were saying like when he retires, it will.
I thought you said when he retired. Maybe, I don't know. But I just thought Miami would be a very popular city for football.
Yeah,
like
you would have thought so. Yeah,
like
but at the same
historical,
time, like I think I would have like basketball's. It's always been bigger in Miami. Miami's a basketball place, isn't it? If you go walk around Miami, I bet you see like a basketball court a lot.
Yeah, possibly because it's an outdoor sort of like city, isn't it?
Hot.
Yeah, with the temperature. One of the questions I've got as well, which you can let me know, how many fans are watching that go? So if you're from a city that's got 4 teams, so you've got NBA, baseball, NFL, and NHL. How many go to 2, 3, 4 of them sports regularly?
Yeah, like all the sports in that city.
So everything's usually close by in the cities, aren't they? They're all sort of like, when we went to Nashville, we went to the Predators game and the Titans game in the same day. And you could walk from one place to the other. Whereas here, you need to train or taxi.
I don't know, I think it's going to be like, I don't think you're ever like a massive fan of all 4 sports.
No, you'd have to be. You're
like more of a fan of like a couple of them at least, and you'd probably only go to them to save money.
Let us know, because it would be very expensive, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Buzzing about football as much these days. Number 26, Los Angeles. LA is Lakers and Dodgers town. The Clippers and Angels are a fairly big deal too. And the Kings increased their following during their 2012 and 2014 Stanley Cup runs. But football? Remember how nobody was really following the Rams in their first few seasons back in LA? The Chargers have also struggled to generate the citywide interest that they had in San Diego. LA is a mega sports city, one of the biggest in America, but it is definitely not a football city.
Come on, who the hell are the Sparks and the Galaxy and the Ducks?
Sparks. Well, Galaxy.
Oh, LA Galaxy.
Like football team, isn't it? Soccer team. LA Ducks.
Sparks.
Hockey. Don't know who Sparks are.
Number
Rams
25,
and Chargers.
Nashville. Music City certainly loves its
Been
Tennessee
there.
Titans. Don't get us wrong, but it's a relatively small market compared to most other NFL cities. Plus, the whole country music scene is a much bigger deal there than football. The NHL's Predators have certainly enjoyed a giant surge in popularity. It's not crazy to think that hockey could eventually take over football as the sport of choice in Nashville. Number 24, Indianapolis. Indianapolis came to embrace the Colts as their very own following their relocation from Baltimore. It's one of 2 pro sports teams in Indiana, the other being the NBA's Pacers. But basketball feels like a much bigger deal in Indy, and not just because of the Pacers. The Indiana Hoosiers, Butler Bulldogs, and Purdue Boilermakers are 3 very prominent college basketball programs that are going to be tough to compete with in that region. Number 23, Houston. Houston is among the top 5 most populated cities in the country, and it's home to the NFL's youngest team. The Texans joined the league as an expansion franchise in 2002, so they're a little late to the party, if you will. No doubt that Houston loves its Texans, through the good and the bad. But it's hard to place them any higher considering how the other cities have had their football teams for just so much longer. Number 22, Washington. If this list was written in the 80s or 90s, Washington would be in the top 5 or 10 range. Too bad Dan Snider ruined all the fun. Commanders fans have rightfully gotten fed up with Snider and the never-ending controversies under his watch. It is no wonder that attendance and ticket sales continue to decline. No matter how much you love Washington, it is just hard to justify giving Snider a cent of your hard-earned money. Number 21, Cincinnati. Yes, they have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. And yes, they're coming off an unexpected run to Super Bowl 56. But
I guess with some of these as well, like, Cincinnati, Cleveland, they've got Ohio, they've got the Ohio State and Ohio, haven't they? They've got the Buckeyes and the Ohio, the other one.
Are they even any good?
I don't know. There's 2 of them there, isn't there? So you've got massive college presence there as well. And it's probably the same in a lot of these states where college football is probably... People are more interested in college football than they are in NFL.
Yeah.
Especially, it must be hard with an NFL franchise. You could get really into a franchise and all of a sudden sods off somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. That's why college football has more like loyal supporters and all that.
I think so.
But the Bengals have been a very sad, dysfunctional franchise for the most part over the last 3 decades. Attendance was notably on the decline during the final years of the Andy Dalton, Marvin Lewis era, as owner Mike Brown seemed to condone losing for whatever reason. Given their historical significance, it feels like Cincinnati will
Imagine being the owner of the Bengals called Brown.
Yeah, that's the point.
always be a baseball-first town, even if the Reds are downright terrible. Number 20, San Francisco/Bay Area. The Golden State Warriors dynasty has made them the golden franchise of the Bay Area. There were plenty of empty seats at Levi's Stadium throughout the second half of the previous decade. Thankfully for the frustrated 49ers fans, they always had the Warriors, San Jose Sharks, and Oakland Athletics to fall back on when the 49ers hit rock bottom during those post-Jim Harbaugh years. Number 19, Baltimore. Okay, we're at the point of the list where we're starting to split hairs, as all of these football cities going forward tend to receive a tremendous amount of support from their hometown fans. And that is certainly the case in Baltimore, where the Ravens have been a huge deal since relocating from Cleveland in 1996. And of course, the city also had its beloved Colts from 1953 to 83. But again, Baltimore comes in lower here because it's a smaller market. It's also an old city renowned more for its museums and historic sites rather than its football. Number 18, Minneapolis. Minneapolis loves its Vikings, alright, but there is significant competition with the NHL's Wild and MLB's Twins. Minneapolis isn't a consensus football town. It really depends on which fans in Minnie you're talking to. There's a reason they call it the state of hockey, after all. Number 17, Kansas City. Arrowhead Stadium is one of the most electrifying and boisterous avenues in America. KC absolutely loves its Chiefs. The Chiefs do, however, have some competition from the Royals. Plus, the St. Louis Cardinals and Blues are also a pretty big deal in KC. Number 16, Cleveland. Yeah, gotta love the loyalty of the Browns fans. No American pro sports fan base has had it harder in the last half century than this group. Yeah, alas, constant losing naturally has taken away some of the passion for football here. LeBron James made Cleveland a basketball city during his 2 runs with the Cavaliers. And when Cleveland lost its beloved Browns to Baltimore, the city rallied behind the MLB franchise during its glory years in the 90s. Given the success of the Cavs and Guardians during the Browns' struggles, it's hard to label Cleveland as a football-first city these days. Number 15, Denver. Denver has competition with the NHL's Avalanche, NBA's Nuggets, and MLB's Rockies. The Avalanche and Nuggets especially have enjoyed some pretty deep playoff runs over the last quarter century or so. So, is Denver a football-first city? Well, it depends on which Colorado sports fan you ask. Russell Wilson's arrival should really turn things up in Denver this year. Number 14, Foxboro/Boston. Don't get us wrong, the Patriots are just as loved in their home region as any other NFL franchise.
I always think of Boston as more of a baseball and basketball team.
Yeah, I would have 100% said that, because it's not actually called like the Boston.
Yeah,
it's like the
NFL. If they were called the Boston Patriots, yeah. If they were called the Boston Patriots and they were in Boston,
they might be a lot bigger.
Yeah, but the Boston Red Sox is kind of like one of them.
Same with the Boston Celtics. They're like one of the biggest NBA franchises.
Yeah. It's a name that everyone knows around the world, isn't it? If you say name a team from Massachusetts, I imagine most people would say the Boston Celtics or the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone would say
New England Patriots.
Correct. Yeah.
But Beantown has always lived and breathed baseball and basketball first. The Red Sox and Celtics are among the premier, most historic American sports franchises out there. Boston has always supported these clubs through thick and thin. The Patriots? Well...
Did you see that sign?
Nah. What about the Bruins as well?
Yeah, Bruins as well, yeah.
Aren't they big?
Yeah,
yeah.
Out there. Boston has...
I had a really good sign, but the Astros stole it.
I like that. Funny that.
Has always supported these clubs through thick and thin. The Patriots? Well, don't forget that Robert Kraft had to save the franchise from being relocated to Hartford in the 90s. Football fever only really took off during the Brady-Belichick era. Number 13, Charlotte. The North and South Carolina states love college football more than just about any other in the country. But here, we're focusing strictly on the city of Charlotte, where the Panthers are based. They love their basketball too, no doubt, but football will always be king in Carolina. Number 12, New York. With too many sports teams in the Manhattan area, it's hard for the Giants and Jets to really stand out. The Yankees are the biggest deal in the city, and the Mets, Knicks, and Rangers aren't far behind. Like LA and Vegas, sports isn't New York's biggest thing. Entertainment, history, arts, and tourism are what this city is all about. Not to mention the Giants and Jets play in New Jersey. Number 11, Glendale/Phoenix. Now we're entering the prominent football cities. The Diamondbacks and Coyotes, quite frankly, have nothing on the Cardinals.
Right.
The Suns are a big deal in the desert, especially when they're winning. But through the good and the bad, the Cardinal faithful stays by the side of their football team. And, just us, there has been far more bad than good. Number 10, Chicago. The Windy City has the Bears, Blackhawks, Bulls, White Sox, and Cubs. But over the past century, Chicago has been a football-first city. Such is life when you have a franchise that's over 100 years old. Sure, things haven't really been great since their 1985 Super Bowl season, but these Bears fans are as loyal and as passionate as any fan base in the NFL. Number 9. Atlanta. The Braves MLB team has been a consistent winner since the early 90s, but they are nowhere close to matching the Falcons in popularity. Atlanta is obsessed with football, and not just the Falcons. Their very own Georgia Bulldogs are coming off a historic year that saw them capture the 2021 National Championship over Alabama.
I didn't realize they were like from Atlanta.
No, I mean, I didn't know.
Unless they're not, and people just still support them because it's still
big in that area
Georgia.
of Georgia, yeah.
Will not find many locations in the U.S. that crave and live football as much as the folks in Atlanta. Number 8, New
Braves,
Orleans. Take a trip to New Orleans and you will see Saints merchandise everywhere. The Saints and the LSU Tigers are the teams in the Big Easy. NOLA may be known for its mouth-watering food and...
Yeah, isn't LSU in Baton Rouge?
Yeah,
Not
it's
in,
outside. It's
not
definitely
in not in New Orleans.
It's definitely not in New Orleans, is it?
No.
It's further out. Yeah.
I guess you can still support them though if it's still Louisiana.
Yeah. You got
Because it's Louisiana State University, isn't
Yeah,
it?
correct.
or 7 party life, but football is equally as big for the residents of the city. Number 7, Detroit. The Lions have been rebuilding since 1957, but their constant losing hasn't done much to damper the Motor City's obsession with its football team. Yeah, the Red Wings and Pistons had their championship runs, and the Tigers enjoyed a trip to the World Series in 2006 and 2012. The Michigan Wolverines and Michigan State Spartans are just as loved in Michigan as the Lions. Even if the Lions rebuild for the next 100 years, they'll still attract fans. That's just the way it is in D-Town, at least when it comes to football. Number 6, Seattle. The Supersonics are long gone, the Kraken only entered the NHL in 2021, and the Mariners have been a sad franchise for 20-plus years. Football reigns supreme in Emerald City. The Seahawks have the NFL's loudest crowd. Lumen
Do you know
Field
what's big for them as well?
Soccer.
I was going to say soccer, yeah.
Soccer's
Soccer's big for them. Seattle Sounders.
Sounders, yeah.
was always rocking, even before the Russell Wilson era. Number 5. Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is also a tiny market with a very small population compared to other major cities in the U.S., but no matter. Steel City may as well be renamed Steelers City. Sidney Crosby's Penguins rejuvenated Steel City's love for hockey, but even the Pens know that they're playing second fiddle to the Steelers in Pittsburgh.
So what you're saying is going to be the next one then, the last
That's the
4.
place. I want to go to Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh seems like a cool
It
place.
seems like a proper sports city, and that's why I want to go there. You know, as everyone knows, we're massive sports fans, and I think Pittsburgh's one of them places where I just love to pop into and take a game of ice hockey, football. They've got I think a basketball team, Pittsburgh. They haven't, have they? No. So it's pretty much ice hockey and football, isn't it?
Yeah.
Penguins and the Steelers. But what are we on there? 5. That's
So we've
number
got
5.
4 more. We've not had
Dallas.
Philadelphia.
We're not Dallas.
Not at Dallas.
Green Bay.
Green Bay,
Mad.
yeah.
And
What could the last one be then? Philadelphia, Dallas, Green Bay. The last one's gonna be. Man's gone blank. I don't know.
just try to run through. No,
Can't think.
can't think of where. Washington. Have we done Washington?
Yeah, we had Washington. We had
DC?
DC. Yeah.
No.
Oh wait, no. We Philadelphia, Dallas, Green
Bay.
Bay. No, I can't think of what the other one could
No,
be.
me neither.
Number 4, Philadelphia. Love or hate him, you can't deny the fiery passion of Philly fans. Who else would boo Santa Claus or chant for a beloved coach like Andy Reid to be fired? You can despise Eagle fans all you want, but for better or for worse, their antics stem from extremely deep football passion. Number 3, Buffalo.
Just I was thinking of crazy fans. I thought, who are the craziest fans? So I saw that guy with no shirt on. I thought, Buffalo came to mind.
Baby, what else do you need to hear? How many other fan bases get themselves fired up by going through tables on game day? The Bills fans would always bring the noise and energy, even during their worst years, making it feel like a playoff atmosphere regardless of where their team was in the standings. Number 2, Dallas. You can't be called America's team without placing this high on the list. Half the reason everyone hates the Cowboys is because of their fans. So what if many of them are arrogant, obnoxious, and obsessed with bringing up the past? They're the golden franchise for the NFL as far as TV ratings and marketing go. Number 1, Green Bay. It's amazing that a city with a population of just over 100,000 can carry so much historical significance and popularity. It's the only Big Four sports team that's community-owned. Need we say more? The Packers play in the unofficial football capital of the USA. But which do you think is the biggest football city in America? Join us in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two.
Yeah, it was a good video. Do you agree with that, Green Bay? Probably hard
well, I
to
can't
disagree.
really disagree or agree because I don't really know.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree, isn't it?
But I couldn't completely understand why it's the Packers. They're one of the most historical teams.
I think season
they've always been the Green Bay Packers, haven't they? Since the start of the NFL.
It's owned by community owned, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's only 100,000 people there. They've got no other sports there.
But it's I think the season ticket list is years waiting.
Really?
I think people are putting the kids down as soon as they're born on the waiting list. To go for season tickets. Yeah, I think it's I might be wrong, but I really there's a crazy amount, 70-year waiting list or something.
70?
It was a ridiculous. I might not be 70. People will tell us what the number is, but it's a ridiculous number of years waiting list. It's a bit like United, really, with their massive waiting list that you can go and get a ticket down if I want one now. But,
I know, right?
But United fans can't get one for some reason. But I can get about 50 for tomorrow's game.
Yeah.
Crazy. But it's I just love football. So I love sports cities, mate. When there's sports in a city, I know I can go there and I can talk sport to anyone. And that's the when we went to Nashville. That was I was surprised how big of a sports city that was.
Yeah, it was.
Because I kind of didn't expect it. With all
they
the
were
music
probably more up for the ice hockey when we went than they were for the football.
It was a bit of a dead game because we were playing the Panthers.
And the Titans were already out of the playoffs and all
pretty
that
much,
this year.
yeah. But I noticed that when we went to some of the bars, we were talking to people who were sports. David was a big sports fan, wasn't he?
He loved the Titans.
So, he loved it. He were talking college football.
He loved the Vols.
Yeah, well, we watched the Vols and the
Vanderbilt.
No, it was Vols against Alabama, wasn't it?
What?
Was it Vols Alabama we watched? No, Vols Vanderbilt, wasn't it? Yeah, you're right. Yeah. We watched Alabama v Auburn, wasn't it? We watched the bar, and that was everyone was into it. It was people were jumping up and down. Even I was jumping up and down. Yeah. And no dog in the fight, but I'm bouncing around like a bloody support one of the teams. Yeah, it's.
I was when the Gators were playing Florida State.
But it's good. It's one of them. It's good just when you go to a sports town that's you just want people there who are genuine local support.
Yeah.
Support the local fan base. I remember when we talked about New York, New Jersey, when I was in New Jersey, and I said, I had to get into NFL because there was no real English football on. So I said, who plays in blue local? And they went Giants. I went, be a Giants fan then. I ended up going to watch the Giants a few times at Meadowlands. But
were the people that said that to you Giants fans?
No, because most of the people I work with, there were a lot of people I work with from New York as well, but a lot of New Jersey guys. But they all supported the Dallas Cowboys and other teams out the area, and I was like, and I couldn't comprehend it. I was like, how can you be a Dallas Cowboys fan when you're from Dallas? You've probably never been to Dallas. And I'm like, it didn't make sense to me.
It's there are people that are like that support teams, just people from London support
Manchester United,
and people from Wales support Liverpool and all that.
Yeah, it's a bit. I just couldn't get my head around it though, because I've always grown up.
It's because it's
your local team.
Yeah, it's always your local team, but it's the reason Cowboys are probably the same as United because they were really good in the 90s.
Successful. Yeah.
And successful when they were probably kids.
Yeah.
So they watched them and thought, I want to support the best team, and it's just grown up on them.
But it's now I know a lot of Manchester United supporters whose kids are
City fans.
Yeah, because they're aged between 6 and 16.
Yeah.
So they've grown up with City being successful. Now they've all turned to be City fans, and I remember them as babies all being United fans, kitted up in all the United gear. But now they've got old enough to realise they want success. Following City now, so a lot more City fans. But love a good sports city, don't we?
Yep.
I think we're heading to Boston soon. For your 21st. So like sometime early this year. Well, early this year, a bit mid this year, I would say.
Maybe we can go to a sports game because they've got all 4.
Definitely taking
Like a Red Sox or a Bruins game.
Correct. Yeah.
Or Celtics.
There you go. Hopefully you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Very good video. Let us know in the comments which you think is the number one. I'm still thinking Green Bay. Can't really argue. I still think Philly or Buffalo.
Yeah, I would have put Buffalo second over Dallas.
Yeah. Just from what
I
we
don't
know
really
from
know
overseas.
that,
No,
yeah,
we
just-
don't know.
Just from what
We
it
don't know.
seems.
But as overseas looking in,
I'm surprised Seattle was 6th. I thought that could have been easily top 3.
outside looking in from overseas, I'm thinking I would have saw Philadelphia or Buffalo.
Yeah.
Probably, you can't, like I say, can't argue with Green Bay. You know, hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well, like I say. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Don't
See
forget.
you on the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.